Let's see what people are going through when it comes to the student loan debt and the stress they're accumulating.
I was curious what was happening with that student loan situation, that on
Me
May
too.
5th, student loans, after 5 years since COVID, people are going to be put, sent to collections if they don't start paying as of May 5th. Well, here's an update to that.
Okay.
So here's what the Associated Press is saying is that millions of Americans have already seen their credit scores be downgraded because of their default in their loan status. Wage garnishments will start at the end of this summer. They said 90 days after May 5th is when that'll officially start, which looks to be the first week of August. So that's
So you know as well as I do, this month of July is it's going to go by real fast, right? As we get older, the months go by faster. August is going to basically be here before you know it. And I'm just making a prediction that when people get that garnishment notice, and I think it can be as high as 15%, I think some people are literally going to make a really horrible decision to leave their job, hoping they can outdistance this bill that will always be right there behind them.
That's coming. There's already been reports of people on social media saying that their tax refund is being withheld because of this. Oh, what if, hypothetically, with the crazy success of the No Kings protest, what if we were able to get like 1 million student loan borrowers together to start contacting these agencies that have been defunded, staff have been cut, and are currently strained for resources because of our current dictator? What if we were able to overwhelm these systems? Would we be able to delay them from reporting student loan borrowers to collections? Could that be done?
As crazy as it sounds, it probably could be done. As a matter of fact, whenever you hear about cyber warfare, one of the tactics that they always talk about is what if one of these foreign agents did a cyber attack on our banking system? And imagine you couldn't log into your bank account because 1 million people all around the country or all around the world were logging into that bank account or that bank, I should say, at the same time. You can literally clog up the services. Can all of you guys that are behind in your student loans get together and call and clog up services? I suppose you could. I don't know if it would work, but I suppose it's possible. Okay, this one's funny. This one is a person that just got wage garnished and they're calling in to the number that was available for them to call.
We'll be sitting on this phone this whole dang on shift, man. I would sit on this phone with you this whole shift, man. Because if I lose my job, somebody's got to lose their job over there. How about that, okay? How about that, okay? Because this is my job that y'all messing up. I have mouths to feed. I have mouths to feed. And I cannot go to work with my phone off. We'll be sitting on.
So it says here, POV, a call from a defendant once their job payroll department informs them about the wage garnishment we filed, right? So a lot of times you'll have somebody from HR. I've had this happen to me with my child support in the past where they literally come and they say, hey, just want to let you know we got something from the Department of Child Support here at Arizona, right? We're going to be taking a wage garnishment of such and such amount out of each paycheck. When that starts to happen to people, it's real sobering. You literally feel like you got a reverse bonus on your check for the rest of your life.
Well, they're now saying that they may start to garnish paychecks, and this been circulating around. Garnish paychecks, right? Take out people anywhere you got money, right? Anywhere you got money in your bank account, where you work at. Well, they already, but they're going even deeper now. Any money you got, right? They're making it now so they can reach that money.
So they can get your tax refund, right? If you have any money left over on any type of settlements or whatever, they can probably take that as well. They're going to be wage garnishing you. Here's the crazy thing. What he said there at the beginning is so true. Everybody, when I was growing up, was told that by going to college and graduating and getting a degree, you were going to make on average X amount of thousands of dollars more per year than your fellow students that didn't go on to college. Now, with these loans, it almost feels the opposite.
And the deadline, I think it's starting May 5th, 2025.
Yeah.
So the student loan forgiveness that President Joe Biden put in place is now being swept away. And some people may bring the argument to say, well, if you borrow money, you pay it back. I agree on that. I agree to that. If you borrow something, you pay it back.
But
But here's where the rubber meets the road. So you went to college, you got a degree, 4 years or whatever you got your degree in. Did you know that most of those people with those degrees aren't working in the fields they got the degrees for?
true.
Or even worse, sometimes they can't even get a job that's equivalent to the pay they expected to do with the degree.
Right?
You get what I'm saying? So it's one thing if you're not working in the field of your degree
But
and
you're
you're
making
still
less.
making equivalent money to your degree.
Right?
But sometimes they're not even making that money. You understand? So there are millions of people. Colleges are businesses. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not bashing college, but I'm just saying, I know so much people that's been hurt by college.
So, I always envision companies, especially if they're big companies, I always envision them having think tanks. And you guys know as well as I do, every day we're talking about all these companies that are laying off hundreds and in some cases thousands of people, right? What if they know for a fact that over the next 3 months, things are going to get really tough, especially because of these loans coming back into play? And what if they're actually laying off people because they know we're going to stop shopping as much as we were? We're going to stop buying everything that we used to, right? When it comes to even groceries and necessities. And we're really going to start hunkering down. If they know that you're going to be spending less and less money, maybe that's also feeding into all these layoffs. Maybe,
Right? And this dream has been sold to people for years. Go to school, get a good education, da 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 da, all this other stuff. It's a double-edged sword.
right?
As a matter of fact, it's a big gamble. Right? There's so many people in society today who have 4 or 5 degrees, and when the first one doesn't work, guess what they do? They go back to school, get another degree. That one doesn't work, they go back to school again, get another degree, only to find out that you're feeding a system that's not going to feed you.
Right?
Now you have all these student loans backed up on you. Okay, you got a little break. Now it's to the point where they're saying, okay, you're going to pay this money back, you're going to make payment arrangements, or we're going to take this money some way, somehow.
What's really sad is a lot of the people that are going on to college nowadays are African American women. I wonder how many of them are going to be affected by these loans starting to come out of their checks.
And throw in a shitty economy,
Where everything's
throw in the fact
expensive.
that employers are decreasing people's wages these days. The tougher times get and the more inflation soars, the more they decrease people wages for different jobs.
Right?
And you know this is true because a lot of jobs that used to pay relatively good have now decreased their pay. You get what I'm saying? So you're just walking around with 2-3 degrees, broke as shit, and now they want some money out of that too. So yes, there are people who have been hurt by college.
So, as most of you know, starting, it was a couple of days ago, May 5th or whatever, the government was going to start collecting student loan payments again. I mean, you've only had 5 years of not paying them. I don't know what the problem is. And of course, a bunch of dipshits, mostly women, but yes, there's a few guys, took to TikTok not to discuss their plan to pay their student loans back, but literally to say, I'm not going to pay them. And then gave a bunch of bullshit ways to get out of paying them. Well, outside of you never receiving another nickel from anything again, you're going to pay the money back, one way or another.
Agree.
You guys really think you can outrun the most ruthless collection agency on the planet? State governments are bad enough. Now you're dealing with the federal government. Well, one way or another, They're getting the money. And
This guy in about 20 years, when he's older, his hair is going to turn white and he's going to be Santa Claus. Who would have thought he's a spark plug here in his youth? Let's see what he's like when he gets older if he has this energy.
don't think you can just like job skip. I know one chick said, "Oh, just job skip." The government will track your social security. They know when you've gotten a new job.
Right.
They'll just garnish immediately. Guys, and you had 5 years at 0% interest. You signed on the dotted line, you took the money, now it's time to pay it back. I don't know what to fucking tell you, other than bitch, give them the money.
As horrible as it sounds coming from Santa Claus before he turns white, right? His advice there is actually the best advice. You just have to give them money. Do not quit your job because all you're going to do is jump into another job and get one paycheck before they catch you and garnish your second. It's not worth quitting. Stay with your job. What you want to do instead of quitting is go ahead and do DoorDash, do Grubhub, do Uber and Lyft, do dog sitting or dog walking, babysitting, whatever you have to do. Do not quit your job. That's not going to help in this situation.
40% of all student loan borrowers are not paying. We just need the other 60% to get on board. Guys, the Department of Education is panicking, as well as all of the providers of student loans. They are panicking because 25% of everybody is either in default or about to be in it because all of us are collectively saying, fuck student loans, we ain't paying.
And again, it doesn't matter if you say that or not, and they're not panicking. If anything, they're taking a sigh of relief because over the next 3 or 4 months, millions of you are going to start getting garnished, which means they're going to actually start making money. So they're not worried at all. Do not follow what this guy's saying. Even if all 100 million of you called to try to clog up the system like we talked about earlier, they're just going to garnish you and it's going to happen whether you like it or not. Your best game plan is to come up with a plan which includes some extra money. So you actually have to go get a car to do Uber. You have no choice. You have no choice.
I'm upset because y'all gonna start garnishing my checks, my hard-earned money that I'm supposed to be paying off my student loans with. How am I supposed to live in this economy? And y'all finna start garnishing my... You know how much I owe on student loans?
How much?
Do you know how much I owe on student loans?
I'm asking.
Y'all gonna start garnishing my checks. I ain't gonna have a damn thing. 15% seem like it ain't a lot.
No, it's a
Baby,
lot.
that's a whole lot, okay?
It is a lot. Even if you make 800, right? That's going to be about $100 a week out of your check. If you make $1,000, there's 150. If you make 2 grand and you think you're living large because you make 6 figures, well, now you make 1,700 every week. So it's going to be harder to deal with. And at the end of the year, you still have to pay taxes on the whole enchilada.
Let me tell you something. The very first time I go to check my pay stub online, and there is a garnishment
What are you going to do?
to some departments, because they know
Okay.
Department of Education. So
Right.
for some departments, talking about a student loan garnishment, that will be the last time I receive any wages or tips. I ain't got a tax refund in since what, 2019 and 2019. So I ain't worried about them taking that overpayment, because I mean it's money I never seen anyway. It's money I was never expecting. They can get that, but that money that I work for, that I pay my bills with, I will be a full-time entrepreneur.
See, so what she's basically saying there is she will quit her job. But it doesn't matter if you get a tax refund or anything, you're always going to have to owe that. And even if you try to be a full-time entrepreneur, it's going to be really challenging to go your whole life without getting some sort of wages coming in. And if you ever do, that interest is just going to keep climbing. So I'm sure some of you guys are actually thinking the same way this woman is right here. How many of you are actually planning on not paying a dime? Please be brave and let us know down below so that we can tell them to come get you.
Now,
Okay.
back in 2005, I borrowed $26,000, baby. And it paid for 4 years of school. So I borrowed once. It carried me through 4 years. All
Okay.
right. You got the principle? Cool. That's the principle. Now, over the years, I've been paying on this loan since 2012. For the last so many years, I've been paying consistently more than $400, or at least $400. Let's say I've been making those type of payments since 2019. So this year I'm up to $786 and like change a month for just this one student loan. Now, if you have been making consistent payments for what basically amounts to 10 years, what do you owe on the loan? Well, here's what I can tell you. I owed what? I borrowed 26.
Right.
26. I have made over $38,000 in payment. Now, in the comments, tell me how much I owe. I'll come back with a part 2.
Oh, darn, I thought she was going to give us an answer here. Okay, so here was the problem. Some of you might not have caught it, but I caught it. And if you did catch it, let me know down below. She said she went to school in 2005. For 4 years, she did it in one shot. That means that she graduated in 2009, right? Well, she didn't start paying back her payment till 2012. So correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong on this. But doesn't that mean that right after you start graduating and you start getting your first couple jobs, doesn't that mean the interest and stuff starts to click off? I wonder how much interest accrued on a $26,000 loan for 3 whole years without any payments being made. I'd be willing to bet that it was probably pretty expensive. I hate when I hear that people spend $38,000 on a $26,000 loan, and I bet you she's going to tell us something wild like she still owes 15 or 16,000, maybe even more. Those are things that make you feel like the loan company's predatory. I wish people like this could just instantly have whatever their balance is, pay it off without any more interest accruing, but it seems like the lenders aren't willing to budge. At the same time, I'd like to see more of the people that owe actually try to become proactive and come up with a better plan than just evading and running. Because there's always a better plan than just running, right? With that being said, run immediately to the thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe. Come back again tomorrow. We'll watch some more videos together. Have a good night and pay your bills.